Hello there, my friends. Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have another fun fold project to share with you today. This time we're doing an accordion fold that has this extra little pop out on the front. Now I got this from Jackie Bolus and it's really become one of my favorite fun folds. I use it quite a bit. So I'm going to take you through today how to make all the parts and pieces, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a card together with you. Today I'm going to be using the Country Floral Lane paper and also the Country Gingham paper to use for my DSPs. But we'll get to that in just a minute. So first we're going to cut all the parts and pieces. So for those of you who are taking my in-home class, where I send you the kit and I send you a template, you probably have your templates already received in the mail. So you have a template constructed for you with all the measures marked on it. We're going to use that. You also have the printed out step-by-step tutorial, so whichever way you do best when you go to your paper cutter to prepare your materials, you use what's best for you, but you have both. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my paper trimmer so that we can get our pieces ready. Alright, so my card base is going to be mint macaron today. And for this one, our card base, right, this part here, the card base, is 5.5 by 11. So I'm putting my paper in here at 5.5. And I have 5.5 by 11. Okay, so there's my base piece. Now I also have the pop-up piece. And lucky for me, or constructed properly, you have 3 inches left here. So now I need a 3 by 6 piece for the pop-up section. Let me get that in at 6 and trim that. Okay, so there's my 3 by 6. Now we're going to go ahead and score these while we've got them here. So I'm going to switch to my scoring blade. Okay, now let's do the big one first. The big one says to score it 1 3/4. So I'm just going to push that into 1 3/4 and score that. And then I go to 3.5. Then I go to 5.25. And then I'm going to have to open my arm up because I forgot I have to go to 7. So I open my arm and I just push that out to 7. Okay, and so now I've got my score lines in here for my accordion card. Okay, so we'll do all those with our bone folder in a minute, but you can kind of see that they're all in there, okay? Now the other one is our 3 by 6, and we're just going to score it in half, so at 3 inches. So that one goes right there. And I just scored 3 inches, so that one's going to be just our little pop-up piece. Okay? Alright, so now we have to do our Designer Series paper pieces. So if you want to look at the template you have, okay, you can see they're all marked. So there are 4, right, for this background section, and they're all at 1.5 by 5.25. So I'm using my 6 by 6 paper. I'm going to trim it at 5.25 to start. Okay, so it's just going to give me a little 3/4 inch strip. Then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut it into my 4 strips at 1.5 each. So 6 divided by 4 is 1.5. So that works out perfectly. I have hardly any scrap left. So I'm just going to put that at 1.5. And then I just repeat the process until I've got all of my 4 panels. Now, your panels do not all have to be the same. Your panels do not have to be a DSP. You could use cardstock, you could do some dry embossing, you could do some stamping. So whatever you want to put with your panels, you could leave them blank if you wanted to. Alright, you could make your card base out of DSPs if you wanted to. So then they'd already have a printed pattern on them. So however you want to change up the project, it's totally up to you. It's your project, make it your way, I like to say that. But you can mix and match the papers and the stamped images that you do however you want. Okay, so now we need some sections for on here. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. They're at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so it's just going to be bopped in. So I'm going to turn this like this, and I'm going to go 2 3/4. 2 3/4, and I'm actually going to cut 2 of these because I might want 2 panels. I might want them to be the same. So I'm just going to cut them right now. You could make one just a neutral cardstock if you wanted to, or you could do both with designer series paper. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and cut 2 in case I decide when I'm crafting my card to go ahead and use them both like that. Okay, I need a liner here. So my center liner is going to be 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm just using my basic white. 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. So that's just going to step it in 1/4 inch from the base. Okay, so I think we have all our pieces. Okay, so here we go. All right, so first off, let's go ahead and put our panels on the base here. So you're going to take your bone folder and go ahead and crease all of the score lines so you have a nice crisp fold for each of those. Okay, nice crisp fold for each of those. And then I'm just going to use my liquid adhesive and put on my gingham papers. So you don't need a lot of this liquid glue, but you need enough to hold the panel down. And these just get inserted in those scored sections. Now remember guys, if you're following along and you're making your practice kit from my class in the mail, you can pause my video whenever you need to do your sections and then just start it up again. So use this video as your training tool. Right, my in-person helping you, even though I'm not there with you. That makes it easy for you to do it when it's convenient for your time and your schedule. Okay, so there's that, and then I've got my card base here for the inside panel. I'll put that on too. Okay, so there's our base, right, with our extra papers. Now I've got my front here. Now I'm not going to put those on yet. So what I want to do, okay, this is the engineering part of this. So I've got my 3 by 3 and I've got my fold. Now you see I've pushed this all together so it's flat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one, right, open it up like this. So I've got one on the inside and one on the front. Now you can kind of decide, you know, where you want to position it. Do you want it even? Do you want it low? Do you want it high? Depends on what you want to do with your front embellishment section. So I'm just going to line mine up for simplicity. Just inset a little bit here, okay, with enough overlap that I can adhere it. So this is how I do it. I just open this up, and you only want adhesive behind where this flap's going to come down. So I just put a little bit of light along the edge there, and then I push this down and I hold it just to adhere that in place. Okay, so give that little time to adhere between the two papers. Then you open it up and you do the same thing on the back. Okay, so you're just putting a little adhesive between the top and the bottom of your section here, and then you fold that over and press it down. Okay, so there's our, that's how we adhere that front pop out section. So see, when you open your card, it pops out, right? It won't exactly lay flat, but that's okay. And if you're standing it up, you can put it on display for somebody to see all your pieces. Okay? Alright, so now let's go ahead and do some more to finish our card. So I've got this piece here. I'm going to put that on the front. So put that right there on the front. And ahead of time I decided I wanted to use my sentiments from Peaceful Moments. So I've got my sentiments from Peaceful Moments, and I've done a little die cutting with my Stylish Shapes. I have my banner, and I did that out of white. So I want to do with my Mint Macaron ink, because that pairs in with my card-based paper, right? I'm going to do my Thinking of You. Right, here's the stamp set I'm using, Peaceful Moments. I'm doing my Thinking of You with all my heart, because I've got heart paper there. And I want to put that on the front. So I'm going to just ink that up. I'm going to test that because I just re-inked my pad. Yeah, that's good. All right. And I'm just going to put this on my banner. Now I did shorten my banner because the front of my card, right, my thing is only 3 inches, so I didn't want a huge banner across the whole thing necessarily. So I've trimmed mine just to fit. And that's going to go on the front. And I think I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to do something with a little ribbon down the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on with my liquid adhesive. Now you could pop that up on a dimensional if you really wanted to, but this card is pretty thick with all of our folds. So I'm going to keep mine as unpopped up as possible at this point, putting on my different things. Alright, so there's that one. Okay, and then I have Happy Birthday, and I have These Are the Moments that we'll look back on and enjoy. Now, first I was going to put one here, stamp one here, and then one here, but I really think I want that there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this other panel there. Instead of just doing a basic white one there, I'm going to put 2 DSP panels on. I really like that paper. So these papers are both in our spring catalog, which end at the very start of May. So if you want any of these papers, make sure you are grabbing them before they're retired and they're gone. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp the inside. Now remember, all right, you can see a lot of that white, so I'm going to try to stamp behind where I have these papers coming down. So I've got this one here, and Happy Birthday there. So there we go. There is our card project for today. So I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough on putting all the pieces together and how to prep all your pieces for your own fun fold project. You can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube video, or you can hop over and subscribe to my newsletter where I share my projects each week. And please leave me comments. Thumbs up are appreciated. Let me know that you're watching and enjoying the projects I'm sharing. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment here or over on the blog and I will respond to you. So there you go, guys. I hope you have a fun day and do some fun stamping. Right, springtime, time to do some fun, bright stamping. So have some fun, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.